First D. So great job coming to your learning spot so quickly and so quietly. Love it. Now, yesterday we talked about the importance of being an independent first grader. And we talked about this awesome board right here. Okay. Now, we discussed and we talked about how when you're finished with your work, whether you're working with a partner or working by yourself, when you're finished with work, you're never going to come to Miss May and say, Miss May, I'm done. Where do I put my work? You always put it in your folder here, okay? And remember, your folder has your name on it. And remember, who can tell us, are we going to take our folder out to put our work in, or are we going to leave it in there and open it and then put our work inside? Alyssa? Yes, Sunshine, we are going to open it and put our work in there, because if we take our folder out, it ends up going into the wrong place. Our tabs might, with our name on it, might get mixed up or come off. So we want to just open up, find our name, open up our folder, and put our paper and papers inside our folder. Good job, Alyssa. All right, so now let's talk about, you're done with your work. And remember yesterday how we talked about, you know, we don't want to always ask Miss May, what do I do now? What, I'm done, I don't know what to do. Remember we talked about that? Okay, so you're independent. You want to be independent first graders. That's what we want. You don't want to have to always ask Miss May, what do I do? Miss May, can I do this? Miss May, can I do that? You don't want to do that? This is our classroom. And I want you guys to understand that you have choices in here. So looking at our board from yesterday, we talked about a few things, okay? Who can tell us what is the most important thing that you must do or you must check on our I'm Finished Now What board? What is the most important thing we have to do? Cooper? Bingo! Yes, you must check your unfinished work folder, okay? Always check that work folder first. That's why it's up here at the top and everything else is below it, because that is the most important thing that you have to check, making sure that you get all your work completed, okay? So then we added some different choices each day this week, and we talked about how you can clean your desk. You can make sure your desk is nice, neat, and tidy. You guys know what that should look like, so you could always clean your desk. You can write a story of your choice. We talked about where you get your story paper and all that good stuff. And then we also talked about how you can just read a book from anywhere in the classroom. Now, can anybody tell me what does it look like and sound like when you are reading a book in the classroom? Who can tell us what does that look like and what does that sound like? Josh? Yes, correct. So when you're looking for a book, you are quiet, you're minding your business, and you may choose any book in the classroom. Can you read anywhere in the room if you want? Yes, that's correct. You can read anywhere you want as long as you're not disturbing the people that are around you. Correct. Now, should we read loud and proud, or should we read very quietly in our mind? Well, how should we read when we're reading by ourselves a book around the classroom or even at our seats? Yes, very good. We should be reading very quietly because we don't want to disturb the people around us. We have to be respectful to the people that are around us. Correct. Now, all I ask, who remembers when you have a book from anywhere in our classroom, how do you treat that book? Yes, you treat it with respect. All I ask is that you make sure that when you're reading it, you're treating it, you know, like it's just like a precious little thing that you have, and that you're being respectful to it, and that you just put it back where it belongs the correct way. Okay? Now, I want somebody to model for us really quick. Checking the I'm Finished Now What board, and then choosing to read a book and finding a book for us, okay? And I want everybody to watch our friend that is going to model this for us, okay? All right, so Zuri, can you please come up, pretend you're looking at the I'm Finished Now What board, okay? And then we want to see you go and find a book to read, and we'll watch how you do that, okay? All right, all eyes on Zuri, please. Okay, so now Zuri, she's checking the board. She's trying to decide what she wants to do. Okay, it looks like she's now walking around the room. It looks like she's chosen to read a book, so she's trying to find a book. Okay, now I like how quietly Zuri's walking around trying to find her book. She's not disturbing anyone. Love it. She has her book. Okay, so she's choosing to sit somewhere on the floor versus at her desk, which is fine. Miss May does not mind or care at all. And there she is. She's laying down, reading her book, being respectful. She's reading to herself. We can't hear her. Oh my gosh. Let's give Zuri a 1 second party. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Thank you, Zuri, so much for demonstrating the correct way and modeling that for us. All right, so now let's have someone model for us, looking at the I'm Finished What board, and choosing to read a book, but doing it the not so firsty way. Who can do that for us? Who can model for us the not so firsty way? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to choose Catherine. Catherine, model for us the not so great way. I'm not going to say a word, guys. Let's just watch her, okay? Here we go. All right, Catherine, go ahead. Whoa. All right, Catherine, you did a great job. Who can share? What are some things that you noticed that Catherine was doing that was not appropriate when reading a book? Cooper, what did you notice? Yes, she was kind of like running around our room trying to find a book, which is very distracting to the people that are around us. Yes, very good. Who else can tell us something that you noticed that Catherine was doing? Kiki. Yes, she was reading out loud, like very distracting. She wasn't loud, but you could still hear her reading, so that was very distracting. Very good. Yes. One more. What did you notice? Jackson. Yes. Did you notice how she put the book back? It wasn't how she found it. It was totally not how she found it. She just kind of threw it there and whatever. Excellent job. We have to give Catherine a 1 second party for modeling the not so firsty way. Let's give her a 1 second party. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Excellent job, Catherine. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, so we have that taken care of. So now we're going to add another choice to the I'm Finished Now What board. And that choice is going to be amplify. Okay, so you can choose to do amplify if you would like. Now, everyone should have headphones here at school that you're going to keep here at school. And if you don't, I'm just going to remind your parents that, you need headphones hopefully by the end of this week, first of next week. But you have a choice. You can get on amplify if you would like. Now, when you get on Amplify, let's talk about what that looks like and what it sounds like, okay? So what it looks like is you're on your Chromebook, you have your headphones, you're sitting at your desk, or you can be on the floor. Like, you guys are gonna know that Miss May does not care where you are working as long as you're working. Now, if you're not working somewhere different besides your desk and you're goofing off and playing, then you lose your privilege for a little while working wherever you want in the classroom. But as long as you're doing your job, you can be on the floor working. I'm good with that. So what it looks like is your headphones are plugged into your Chromebook, your headphones are on, and you're on Amplify. We're not being sneaky and trying to get on other websites and acting like we're on Amplify, because remember, Miss May can always check your history and I can always come around and look and see what you're working on. I am trusting you to make the correct choice, the right choice, and be doing Amplify if that's one of your choices that you choose to make. So this is another option that you have. You don't have to come and ask Miss May with any of these. Like I said, you just make the choice. Now, I'm going to put this up as a choice for us so that you understand, okay, this is something else that you can do, choose to do. Really quick before we stop, and I'll add more We'll add another tomorrow. Tomorrow I think we're going to add 2. We're going to add 2 tomorrow. I want to add. But let's just talk about, let's say you're doing the I'm Finished Now What board, and let's say you start off with reading and you decide, oh, I don't really want to read anymore. You don't have to ask me if you can change. It's totally up to you. You put your book away and you may go on and do another choice. Totally up to you. Just always remember, we have to check our work folder first. Okay? All right, love bugs. Okay, guys, I hope that helps you with how to teach your I'm Finished Now What classroom management tool. This is one of my favorite tools that I have in my classroom, and it creates such independence. When I introduced this, I wanted to model for you what it looks like and sounds like during the school year. Whenever you choose to introduce it, I always introduce it like that first week of school, and I just introduce one at a time. You don't want to put all the choices up because it becomes overwhelming to the kids in the beginning. You want to be very you just really want to think it through and be very consistent and very thorough on how you teach this and how you model it, because once you teach it well and model it well, it is like chef's kiss. Because when you're absent and the substitute is like, oh my gosh, like it's a dream. Trust me when I tell you, like my substitutes, and y'all know I don't toot my own horn, but substitutes always write and tell me, your class is so independent. Your kiddos know what to do, and that makes my heart happy. And when I read the notes to my kiddos, it makes their hearts happy. So I introduce this one activity at a time each day, and the first couple weeks I just introduce things they can do independently, not with a partner, not in a little group, but independently at first, because I really want them to really get it and get it good. And then I start introducing like other things, like for example, I'll introduce they can read with a buddy, so they get with a partner, and by this time we've talked about what it looks like and sounds like when we read with a buddy during reading workshop. So I introduce read with a buddy, the oh so kind memory. That's an activity they can do, such a good game for kindness for them. And usually I tell them no more than 4 people can play this game. So those games or things where they're working with someone or in a group, I usually introduce those about the 2nd or 3rd week of school. In the beginning, I just really want them to understand, what it means to go make a choice and be independent. And like I mentioned earlier too, how they have the Miss May, I'm finished with my work. This is our work bin, and every kiddo has a folder, and when they're working and I give them an activity to work on, and when they're done, they're not telling me, Miss May, I'm finished. They're not saying, here, Miss May, I'm done. They're not putting it on my table and then it gets lost in the sauce. It really helps with that paper management. And so they put it inside there, and then they just go and they look and they make that choice. So for this to be very successful, you really need to implement how well you model it and set the expectation high. I always have the kiddos model what it looks like and like how it should look, and then I have them model what it shouldn't look like. And that's always fun, and they laugh, and it's fun, it's okay, but it's good for them to see just a visual, of what we shouldn't be doing, like how it shouldn't look and how it should look. So I will put a link in the description box below if you're interested in this product. And also with this product, like there are tons of options that the kids can choose from, but then you can also customize it to options of your choice, pictures of your choice, wording of your choice that you can do too. So just a helpful tip. So as always, guys, thank you so much. If you know someone who might need this type of video, please share it. I have no problems with you sharing my ideas. Like I've said before, I'm not the guru, but I feel like classroom management and building relationships with students is like my jam. It's my thing. And this is a very helpful tool. As teachers, we have so much that we already have to do and deal with. Who has time to try to keep up and tell kids what they can do, and being interrupted while you're in a small group, or while you're whatever you might be doing in your classroom. There's just so much we have to do. So the more independent our students are, the better. And please, like I've said before, do not underestimate, especially if you're using this as a kindergarten, first grade teacher. Like, your kids can do this. You just have to teach it to them. My big thing always is model what you expect. Okay? All right, loves. Until the next video, don't forget to always pray, because God will always make a way. I love y'all. Bye.